Yes, it's another time on the public square. Again, welcome and thank you for joining us on another edition of the program. Of course, you already know that here we discuss topical issues from the standpoint of the people. We'll be doing just that again this morning, and I must tell you that our focus on the program today is something that would definitely interest you, like we always do. All right. Let's get to business already. You know how we do it. I'll have to show some of the headlines making the rounds this week that already have made the rounds this week from the pages of Nigerian dailies. And then we'll get down to business proper. My name is Olabisi, Olaniyi, Oluwasegun, and I have my studio guest here already. So, from the public square this week. All right, from Vanguard of Wednesday, February 10th, 2021, a number of headlines here, but let's take some of them. Labour CSOs kick as federal government plans fresh fuel price hike. Okay, bandits killed 23 in 5 Kaduna local government areas. And from Igboho, my accounts have been frozen. Insecurity, Northern governors Olabisi, Olaniyi move against open grazing. All of this on the front page of the Vanguard. That's Vanguard of yesterday. And from the Hope of Wednesday as well, farm destruction, 200 cows, herders arrested. APC best to solve Nigeria's problems. All right now. Nigerian Tribune, Buhari flags of work on Kano Maradi, $1.96 billion standard gauge rail line. Olabisi to create grazing areas for herdsmen. Oyo lawmakers recount experiences with kidnappers, herders, hoodlums. And this is a very prominent headline here. We must prosecute arrested bandits, kidnappers to show justice. All of this you will find on the front page of Nigerian Tribune of Wednesday, 10th of February. All right, we would definitely talk about some of these headlines this morning. But first, let me introduce my studio guest. And like we do, I would ask you what or which of these headlines really catches your attention. You talk about it, and then we'll move to the business of the day. But first of all, thank you for coming on the program.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I have Mr. Adegboyega Salami here. He is a cryptocurrency exchanger. It's nice to have you join us.
Thanks for having me.
It's okay. I also have engineer Oluwasegun Falola, a blockchain enthusiast. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, it's okay to start guessing already by the title of my guest today, cryptocurrency expert, so to speak. So today we'll be looking at the recent ban on cryptocurrency trading in Nigeria by the CBN. A lot of reactions have been coming in after the announcement of that ban, and it's only nice and it's only reasonable that we talk about it and the effect of this ban on Nigerian economy. My name is Olabisi, Olaniyi, Oluwasegun, and I welcome you on today's edition of the Public Square. We're back right after now. All right, welcome back. It's 10 minutes past 10, and let me quickly tell you that we'll be having some sort of interview with the financial expert who would help us make sense of this whole process and properly. All right, let's get started already. Some few days ago, the Central Bank of Nigeria announced that it was banning cryptocurrency transactions in Nigeria. A lot of young people were actually not too happy with this news, as it means losing a lot of money in the process in the long run. Now, cryptocurrency is not a phenomenon one is hearing today. It's been in the public space for a while now. But it's only that not everyone understands the gimmicks, the workings of the cryptocurrency. Let me start with the enthusiast first, because you're a blockchain expert. So you should understand how the cryptocurrency really, really works. What is the cryptocurrency?
Okay, thank you. Cryptocurrency is a digital asset that was actually created majorly for exchanges, like to be able to pay for services and receive it as a means of exchange for service rendered. So it's a form of money on the blockchain.
But not physical.
Yeah, no, it's virtual.
It's virtual.
Yeah.
Okay, so the cryptocurrency, I was discussing with a friend of mine this morning about cryptocurrencies and how they work, how they continue to increase in value year in, year out. I find it's volatile. Sometimes it drops, at other times it grows. But let me make more sense of how this works. I don't get to hold a cryptocurrency physically. How then does it grow in value?
Okay. Like we said, one of the first cryptocurrency which was created in 2009 was Bitcoin.
Okay.
And Bitcoin has been related to be the digital gold, based on the fact that gold has a value in the sense that you can use the materials for jewelries and the likes, and the demands drive the value. Likewise, Bitcoin also have that same thing, in the sense that the security brings and the immutability, the finality it brings, and the characteristics of Bitcoin, those are things that makes it valuable.
Okay.
And as demand, in economics we have the law of demand and supply.
Sure.
As the demand increases and the supply reduces. Now, there's an algorithm on Bitcoin that makes the supply reduce, in the sense that every 4 years there's something we call halving. So every 4 years there's halving, and what halving means is there's a reduction by half the supply of Bitcoin. That is, those people, before you were able to earn Bitcoin in the beginning, you can actually, if you have a mining machine or your laptop, a very good laptop, you can use to mine cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. And what you mean by mining is you validating transactions on the blockchain.
Okay.
That brings about its own mathematics and the like. So that brings about a lot.
It sounded more like science to me.
Yeah, the science actually. It is science.
I'm finding it really hard to cope with, to understand, really.
Okay, let me go back. I'm actually trying to tell you the value attached to it. Actually.
Okay, I'm sure that people who deal in the business already understand these things you're trying to explain to us. And it's a disclaimer here. We're not saying you should go and start dealing in cryptocurrency. I am not in any way endorsing cryptocurrency. We're just trying to educate the public. It's up to you to decide what you want to do with your money.
So I think I should ensure that before the price of Bitcoin will get to the price it is right now, there is a demand for it. Somebody bought it. Like as at last week, Bitcoin was around $38,000, and when Elon Musk Elon Musk is the richest guy in the world, announced that he's going to be he bought about $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, and for Tesla. Then the price of Bitcoin. And
you can even pay in Bitcoin now to make purchases in his company. Okay, so Mr. Adeba, you also you are a cryptocurrency exchanger, meaning that you trade in cryptocurrency. They buy from you, you sell to people. Okay, is that what you do?
Yeah.
All right. Now the CBN has announced that due to reasons best known to the authorities in CBN, and which some of them were made public, part of which was the issue of illegal transactions, money laundering, terrorism funding, and so on and so forth. Do you think that the CBN banning cryptocurrency at this time is a smart move to make?
Yeah, from my point of view, I think it's not a smart move, because the current ban will only stop some SMEs and even the companies that base their transaction on the blockchain technology. It will only stop them from daily transactions, and for the traders, I can say it will only stop the daily transactions because they do most with the bank. Like you said, I buy and sell. When I buy from people, I have to pay them in naira, and through that means I have to use my bank. And since the federal government is banning the crypto transactions on accounts, there is no way for me to do that.
To finalize your transaction.
Yes, and to finance
your wallet.
Yeah. So I think it's not a smart move because it will reduce the economy and even the tax we pay.
Okay, people actually pay tax on
cryptocurrency. No, I'm not talking about cryptocurrency. I'm talking about the bank.
On businesses.
Yeah. Because I think the more we transact using the bank account, I think the more charges the bank deducts.
Okay, so while we're trying to get the real picture of cryptocurrency and its workings, like we have people who deal in it here, let's quickly have this chat with Mr. Moses Ijalana. He's an accountant and a financial expert. He talked at length with me on the recent ban, and we have an excerpt of that conversation. Take a listen. We'll be back to continue.
Good morning once again. It's good to have me. Like you have rightly said, the cryptocurrency transactions basically is shrouded in a lot of secrecy. Nobody except for those who are in the real business knows the way it operates. It's very difficult to trace the owner of a cryptocurrency accounts. You can't know them. You don't know the way they operate. In other words, it's not subjected to any form of regulation or control by the government. And like the CBN said in one of his statements justifying the banning of the cryptocurrency, while a lot of people argue that it should not be banned because some of the operators engage in legal businesses and transactions. But like the CBN said, if your business is legal, why do you want to do it secretly? If what you are doing is legal, why can't you expose it to government interventions, regulations, and controls? So the banning, I think the CBN has a more detailed information about the operation of the cryptocurrency. My own take is, if it's not what is open to everybody to see and know what you are doing with it, the government believes it should be banned, so be it. If what you are doing is legal, and every person should be free to let people know. You can ask me for my BVN, my account details. Once I can trust you, I can give those things to you. Then you can confirm it to be sure that, yes, I actually own every information in that contained in that detail. But for cryptocurrency, it's not like that. Everything is shrouded in secrecy. The government does not know what and what passes through the accounts, and the government cannot even control it. And in a peculiar situation like Nigeria, where money laundering is highly prevalent, financing terrorism and all the crimes pervading Nigeria today, the cryptocurrency provides a lot of ground for perpetrators of crimes to operate without being caught. So the government is banning it. So be it. At least one should be willing to render his own account and make his transaction open for all to see that what you are doing is legal. That's my take.
Okay, Nigeria is known to be one of the top countries in the world that deals in cryptocurrency, that transacts with cryptocurrency. Now that the federal government has banned it outrightly, don't you think that this would affect businesses and would in turn have a toll or take its toll on the overall economic phase of the country?
Yeah, like you rightly observed, Nigeria is the largest trader in cryptocurrency in Africa, and second to America in the whole world. Nigeria is the second largest user of cryptocurrency in the whole world. After the USA, Nigeria is second in the whole world. And coming from that angle, one will know. Yes, there's no disputing it. Some people have legitimate businesses that they transact through the cryptocurrency. But the question is, could you transact such businesses with your normal bank accounts? Is it possible? What economic disadvantage does that individual suffer by transacting his business in the open banking system? So then what disadvantage does the nation as a whole suffer by engaging in the cryptocurrency? Because to the best of my knowledge, the cryptocurrency is regulated in the US, but I'm not sure Nigeria has the facility to regulate that in Africa. So most of the transactions that go through the cryptocurrencies, there's no way the tax authority could trace them to even charge the profit arising from such transactions. So in by and large, individuals operating the cryptocurrency account might have his own profit, but what does the Nigerian nation gain from it? The whole thing is shrouded in secrecy. Nobody knows your profits, and without knowing your profits, nobody can tax it. So they are not paying taxes to the government. Well, I am of the opinion that government should find a way to regulate it and get
instead of outright ban.
Instead of an outright ban, government should find a way to regulate it so that we don't really throw away the baby with the bathwater. I believe there are some benefits inherent in this cryptocurrencies. So government is only looking at the negative effect.
Well,
at least
one of the reasons cited by CBN is that apart from money laundering, the cryptocurrencies are used to finance terrorism. And this poses some sort of security, national insecurity, and all of that. Now, my question to you is: does this justification of the CBN really make sense to you?
Well, that is a very tough question for me to answer. Personally, when we look at the Nigerian system holistically, for everything in Nigeria, Nigeria, we are good at formulating policies. So, but how far we are able to implement it is another thing. At the time in this nation where we are compelled to have a BVN, believing that the BVN will help to control bank transactions and will be able to control financing terrorism and crimes. But what do we have today? Increase in crimes, increase in financing terrorism. The BVN has not been able to check that. So personally, I am pessimistic about the whole thing. For every effort government has put in place, Nigerians, including top government officials, have found a way around it to circumvent the system so that the ultimate goal is not achieved.
Okay, that was the voice of Mr. Moses Jalano, a financial expert, and he gave us a very comprehensive insight into what he thinks the cryptocurrency transactions portends for Nigeria's economy, and what the recent ban also would, the effects it would have on the economy of the country. Okay, while he was speaking, I can see my guests here. I could see them trying to make certain gestures I really could not decipher. But let me start with Engineer Shei. Do you quite agree with the submission of Mr. Moses?
In some aspects, he is right, he's correct. But I'll say there's some things he actually should have probably enlightened us more about. And now, he mentioned crime, and he mentioned illegal activities being perpetrated with cryptocurrency.
Money laundering and the like.
Money laundering and the likes. The fact is, before cryptocurrency, all these things are already in existence. and are being traded, the fiat system is, they use the dollars or naira, the government money to do all this. Now, even like the old Boko Haram security we have in Nigeria, the CBN can track it and give us record if they want to. That's how I feel. But right now, I think it's a political thing. So when you mentioned crime thing, and if you remember, there
was a particular part of the conversation that got me. The part where he said that cryptocurrency is shrouded in a lot of secrecy, which seems to be true to me. I mean, from the name crypto, it means that it's encoded. It takes somebody who is in the system to understand how these things, how funds are moved, to understand how it works. Is it true that what was the secret part of cryptocurrency all about?
Okay, well, if you ask anybody, any citizen, they will tell you, like, looking at the likes of Facebook and what's the new social media that just came on board now? I can't remember the name, but when I remember, I will talk about it. People actually likes their privacy. People want privacy. I think that is what cryptocurrency brings about, not secrecy in the sense. Bitcoin and several other cryptocurrency are on open ledger. I mean, by open ledger, if you can see, if you go on blockchain.info or blockchain.com right now, you see all the transactions that have been traded on
open ledger on the client's dashboard.
Yes, everything.
Not necessarily in a bank.
Publicly.
Everyone has access.
Everybody can have. If you go to blockchain.com right now, you can see all the transactions that have been traded on the crypto on blockchain. Now, the secrecy is in the sense that, I would say privacy, not secrecy per se, is in the sense that transactions that open are actually, we have address, we call them public address, that are tied to each of the address. So if the bank have access to my address, they can easily check all the transactions I've done on my address. Everything, if I've traded, let's say since 2010 that Bitcoin has been traded on exchanges, they can see all the transactions that have been made on that address from beginning to that present moment. So when you talk about shrouded in secrecy and all, not really. If they want to track it, they can track it. It is open.
It's even good that we're all young people, and we understand that in Nigeria today, money laundering takes different forms. Yahoo is one concept that the government is still battling with. EFCC still on the trail of internet fraudsters, and it is known that Bitcoin, not necessarily Bitcoin, but cryptocurrencies are majorly used by such people to perpetrate the act of money laundering. I'm with you now, Mr. Adewega. Do you think that government was right to have outrightly banned that cryptocurrency transactions so that it could curb money laundering in the country, or you think there should be other ways to go about it rather than banning it completely?
From my own point of view, I think the government should regulate it. Banning.
How do you regulate what you do not know about?
The question, the thing is, recently, Kenya CBN, I don't know what is. Let me just say Kenya.
The Central Bank of Kenya.
Central Bank of Kenya. The Apex Bank. Recently, I think they recently regulate the cryptocurrency, and I think they adopt it.
I think I have a lot of people who I suppose there will be a lot of people who want to discuss, want to air their opinions on this recent development. So let's just say that today we'll make it public. We'll open the doors for people to call in. Let's hear your view on the recent ban on cryptocurrency in Nigeria. Do you think it's the right thing to do for government? Do you think it would have a positive impact on the economy? Whatever you think your thoughts are, let us get to know on the program this morning. 0816-251-9991. 0816-251-9991. You can as well call us on 0908-177-8793. 0908-177-8793. Okay, so Engineer Shay, let's bring this whole conversation back down to the level of average Nigerians.
Okay.
All right, so people have invested heavily in cryptocurrency before now.
Yeah.
A lot of people have their monies tied down as we speak, occasioned by the recent ban on the whole thing. What's the fate of such people?
I think the recent ban actually affects, I would say it affects newbies, people that are just coming into the crypto space.
Okay.
It only affects them because many people are actually scared of crypto or probably Bitcoin. Let me just take Bitcoin as an example. They're scared of Bitcoin.
Since that's the largest brand.
It's the largest brand. We have over 7,000 crypto.
Yes, Ethereum.
Yeah. Bitcoin is volatile. And also we have cryptocurrency that's stable.
Okay.
USDT is pegged to $1. Pax is pegged to $1. BUSD is pegged to $1. Likewise, you have even Naira in crypto asset right now. So if they want to mitigate their loss and convert their money to a stable value and hold it, probably they bought low. Let's say they bought when Bitcoin was $10,000 and Bitcoin went to $40,000. They want to take their profits. They can easily convert it to USDT on the blockchain, and it's going to be there. So, and I think where the government is actually missing out is the fact that the funding and the money is going through exchanges, through the bank. This is taxable by the government. If the government tends to adopt it, the government can create their own blockchain. They can create their own crypto asset.
Okay, okay, we have someone on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my sister and brothers over there.
Thank you very much for calling. What's your name?
Yeah, this is the voice of Engineer Demola.
Engineer Demola, where are you calling us from?
From Akure.
Okay, so the recent ban on cryptocurrency is our focus this morning.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Okay.
And there's one thing I discovered in this country, especially mostly Africa. And there are things you discover that when the government are not interested, you remember this during MMM, that people even believe that it was the organization that started it. It is the government. I don't know. It's like we want first class and second class in this country. You understand now? It's like people don't want people. We want wretched people in this country. If there is any good thing, there should be faulty things there. But when you realize a student go for an exam and he failed, is it the next thing for the children for the child to go back home? No, you have to sit down and look where the error came from or come from, then sort it out. So if there is a fault in the crypto, what are the government doing to sort it out? In other things, financing things like that they coming to Nigeria, you discover that at the end of the day, the government will crush it. So to me, I believe, how are we complaining to the government and they are amending things in your organization over there in your office? You have some faults there, you sit down having a meeting and sort it out. Does that mean you are going to close the office? No, you sort it out. So if there's any error there or any hidden thing there, government can sit down on the round table and sort it out. But discover what I'm still telling you. Go to other transaction. Even our industry, even the petroleum, is there anything government wants it to work? God bless you. It's only Nigerian system on aspect of siphoning, no other organization. God bless you.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Ademola in Akure. All right, he raised some points there, valid or not, let's find out. Do you think that it made sense with that submission?
Yeah. I think the man is saying actually the truth and what needs to be done. And if the government can adopt to what he actually said, I think everything will be all right.
Okay, people have been talking about other get-rich schemes that had been in existence before. For instance, he mentioned the MMM. A lot of people invested in MMM at that time, and before long, it went into the thin air. A lot of monies were lost in the process. Now, the question is, cryptocurrencies transactions. You invest, then you hope to make more money, probably later. But there have been some misconceptions that this is also another form of get-rich-quick scheme. Is that true?
No, it's not. Actually, cryptocurrency is you can lose a lot and you can gain a lot. That's the fact. Like I always tell my followers, if you're going to invest in anything, be it cryptocurrency, be it any business, be ready to invest the money you can afford to lose. Not because you're going to lose your money, but
you should be prepared.
Yeah, you should be prepared
for anything.
Even in normal business, physical business, you get to lose and gain your money. So in your business, so it depends. For cryptocurrency, before it gets to where it is, before we know there's a fundamental backing it, because as a trader, as a cryptocurrency trader or as a forex trader, we have fundamental backing up forex trading. The same thing is that it's just like you listing your complaint on. Because even in crypto, you can list a complaint on the blockchain, and people, when you go public, people can be able to buy assets in your complaint. So if anything happens to your complaint, let's say probably you have a downtime on the complaint, it will affect the price of your asset. That is the crypto asset you're holding. Okay. The same thing goes to the demand and the supplies. Like I was talking about the halving on Bitcoin earlier. The halving brings about the demand and supply in Bitcoin. As the demand increases, the value of Bitcoin was at $4,000 last year, and right now Bitcoin is over $46,000 at this morning. Okay, so the value is actually driven by the price. I mean, the price is actually driven by the value and the demand. So as long as there's demand and the supply is low, the price tends to increase. Now it fluctuates, it goes up and down. That is a normal thing. For those that do not understand how the markets work, that do not understand the fundamentals and basically the technical analysis on several crypto assets, they will actually lose their money, as people are losing their money on forex market at the same time as well. So it's a normal thing. That's why I'm saying, if you're going to invest anything, make sure you're investing. You're not investing. You don't have to go and borrow money in the bank to invest in crypto. It's not compulsory. Bitcoin is an asset, it's a form of asset, and it is the asset that performed the most in this decade, in the last decade.
You likened it to gold the other time, so
yeah,
something like that. You buy gold and
it has even outperformed gold and silver. That's beautiful. I think Bitcoin has done over 16 million % since 2010.
Okay. One of the reasons government is really not supporting cryptocurrency transactions is because it cannot regulate how funds are moved and all of that, which is reasonable enough. Every country wants to be able to control its money. Do you think there is some way government could adopt the cryptocurrency while also performing its duty of controlling the overall financial face of the country?
Okay, I think I should start with this. Several years back, 44 countries came together to decide that USD and the United States dollar is going to be the what's called the standard.
Okay.
Now, the billions and millions of people are now coming together to decide that cryptocurrency like Bitcoin is going to be the standard they prefer for transaction because of the speed. If you want to send fund from here to US, you can send it within seconds and the person will receive it. You can't do that without even going to the bank. You can't do that with your fiat currency. Now, if the government is going to, if the government will want to control it, because you can't really control what you don't have. You can't control what you can't control it basically.
What you don't know. You can't see it.
Yeah, it is decentralized. It is decentralized. It's not controlled by one body. Even Satoshi Nakamoto that created Bitcoin is just a pseudonym, is unknown. So everybody can actually get to adopt it. And if the government will want to control it, they need to come into the space.
Are you saying that the patron of Bitcoin, the originator, is not known?
It is a pseudonym, but like we really don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto. That's the first name.
That makes it even more mysterious.
Yeah, it is. That is, I would say, that makes it more beautiful in the sense that it is not really controlled. And the fact that because if it is being controlled by a certain person, then they can easily manipulate.
So in the event that a client, for instance, loses their money, okay, you have investment in Bitcoin and you eventually lose your money, there is no way you can trace this.
How do you mean by lose your money?
You just said that you could lose money in the process of trying to.
What I mean by lose money in the sense that when you buy, let's say you bought Bitcoin as $10,000, and Bitcoin now developed, Bitcoin dropped to $6,000.
Can you have your original capital?
You can withdraw your original capital. If you want to withdraw your original capital.
Okay.
Now the value can go low or can increase. It can either if you buy at, let's say you bought at for like in 2017, there's some people that bought Bitcoin when it was at $20,000 per coin, and the value of Bitcoin had dropped to $4,000 last year. For those that bought at $20,000 and now sold at $4,000, they're actually selling at loss. But for those because we have people that actually held Bitcoin since 2017 up till now, and they're not in profit because it has increased.
Okay, we're still here, and we're trying to make sense of this whole cryptocurrency hype. For one, it's sounding somehow to me, but we would like to hear your view. As I said earlier, 081 651 9991, 081 651 9991. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Your name?
Speaking with Adedoyin from Akure.
Adedoyin in Akure.
Yes.
Okay, let's have your view.
There was a caller that called the other time. It was like comparing MMM to Bitcoin.
Okay.
So there is difference.
What's the
So
difference?
when you are talking about Bitcoin, it's cryptocurrency generally. So MMM is another thing.
They are both different forms of investment, if you ask me. In MMM, you
Bitcoin
invest
is
money
not
and you get
investment.
returns.
Bitcoin is not an investment.
Okay.
So you don't call Bitcoin an investment.
Bitcoin is not an
Cryptocurrency generally is
investment.
not an investment. Yes. So about the issue we are discussing. So I think the best way the government can go about this thing is regulation.
Okay.
Regulation.
So, regulation, yes.
So how do you think government can regulate something it doesn't understand its workings?
That's the first step government should take. You should contact these people, the experts in cryptocurrency. Ask them how you can take advantage of this thing and for the betterment of the economy.
Okay. All right.
So
thank
instead
you.
of just deciding on banning it or outrightly.
Okay. Thank you, Adedoyin. I really appreciate your call. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, that was Adedoyin. He was also trying to tell government to actually find a way around cryptocurrencies and not outrightly throwing it out like it's useless entirely. Well, 08162519991. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Yomi calling you from Akure.
Yomi from Akure. Thank you for calling, Yomi.
Yes, I want to lend my voice to the discussion on ground.
Okay, please go
Firstly,
ahead.
I want to employ the government to learn more about the cryptocurrency. This will ensure that they will be able to regulate these markets. This is the largest market so far in this century. And if they are banning it, the first thing they should know is that banning it will not bring about development with the sector, cryptocurrency world now. Now, the first thing is to learn about it, regulate it, and then open more doors for the youth so that they can participate more in this current world. Banning it is actually a wrong move by the government. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yomi. We really appreciate you. Right, let's talk about the acceptability of Bitcoin. I cannot, for instance, if I'm not a Bitcoin trader, I cannot transact outside the chain with Bitcoin. Like I cannot go to the market now and exchange Bitcoin for value. That's talking about the acceptability of Bitcoin now. Do you think that there is hope for this technology, especially in Nigeria?
Yes, I feel there is hope for it. Actually, you said you can transact.
Even though it's been banned now.
I feel the government will probably still come around to get to understand what the benefit is, because the government will actually benefit from it in the sense that allowing funds to go through the bank to the system, to the through the bank to the exchange and back through the exchange to the bank will allow them to be able to track cryptocurrency transaction and be able to tax it well. And I think they can only be able to, and if they bring the Naira on the blockchain, because it's the future. It's inevitable. United States tried the same thing.
Okay, the only currency on the blockchain now is dollar.
No, we have ZAR, we have South Africa ZAR, we have we have several other. We have about 180 countries on Binance. We have over 180 countries currency on the blockchain already.
So those currencies make money for their countries in the process of transacting with Bitcoin.
Yeah, in the sense that people can be able to deposit through their bank or through their credit card from the bank to the exchange to trade for traders, and can withdraw back to the bank.
And in the process, their banks make deductions.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
So what you're saying now is that the Nigerian government should also look to bring in the naira on the same platform.
Definitely.
Okay. 090-817-787-93 number to call to air your views and opinions on the recent ban on cryptocurrency, the effects on the Nigerian economy, and your general view. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello, thank you.
Good morning.
Ademola Koba.
Ademola, okay.
Yeah, I just want to make a clarification with my point.
Okay.
I said, no matter the amount of the system you brought to this country, it's always being waived out by the system of our government, directly or indirectly. When I mention MMM, I know what I'm saying. I'm just using it as an example of what I'm saying about the cryptocurrency. That there is nothing on earth that has negative and they does not have positive side. The aspect we are using today, when it came newly, most of it are pulled on edge. Today, it's stolen. Before, we have the screen phone that if immediately touch log grant, the screen will condemn. But today, when your screen phone still crash, it's still working. What are they doing? They are going forward. They are moving forward. But in our own case, we just look at the negative aspect and condemn that thing. That's exactly why I'm saying that in this thing, once it's American that started it, if it's not good, they will have stopped it. What we will have done, before in the ministries on any office, you use manual way, using biro. But today you use computer. Does that make computer perfect when they was being introduced? All we need to do is that we sit down and do the rightful and do correct the wrong thing out of it, the wrong part out of it. But I'm saying it to you that whenever anything that wanted to bring the common man to the corridor of the rich people is always being blocked.
Okay, thank you very much for that contribution. You called back actually, and we appreciate your time. All right. The CBN made a statement. I'll read that in parts. It says transactions in cryptocurrencies are largely speculative, volatile, and should be discouraged. That's according to the CBN. By volatile, that necessarily has nothing to do with the government. It has a lot to do with those who are, involved in the business of cryptocurrency trading. Do you think that this intent is pure in every sense of it? Do you think government is actually looking out for the welfare of its citizens? So there are other motives to achieve by banning this. Is there a political coloration, or there are other motives government wants to achieve in your own thoughts? I'm sure you've been discussing this off camera.
Yeah, sure, definitely. But I would not want to probably state categorically because I would not really have concrete facts about the reason why the government wants to do. But looking into it in depth, we could say there's some probably political reasons behind it, because even United States they were speculative about Bitcoin, and as at last year, you cannot buy crypto, even Bitcoin, in United States, in banks in US. In banks you cannot buy Bitcoin there. If the government tends to adopt,
but you cannot compare the technology in the US to what we have in Nigeria. I mean, they are miles apart, worlds apart.
Not really. We can.
The monitoring. What I'm trying to say is the monitoring system in the US cannot compare with what we have here.
Yeah, you can. You can say it can be compared, but notwithstanding, we can get to it because we are already on the forefront. Like, we know that Nigeria is like the second largest adopter of cryptocurrency in the world. This can actually help if the Nigerian government is ready to develop. I would say if they're ready to develop and grow fast, is the best thing for them to bring blockchain architects, blockchain developers on board their system to help them develop towards adopting the crypto assets, or probably towards bringing the naira, the fiat naira, on the blockchain, so that people can be able to transact with it. Now, one of the fears we crypto enthusiasts and blockchain enthusiasts actually have is if the government actually tends to come into and create their own cryptocurrency, people might not want to use probably invest in other crypto assets like volatile assets, because if the government is going to be creating a crypto naira right now, it's going to be a stable coin, and people still invest in Ponzi even though they have the naira.
The NSAS protest that took place last year was basically because of bad governance, oppression, lack of employment, and most of the protesters then were young people like you and I.
Yeah.
Now, this is another move that a lot of people consider to be, a lot of young people consider to be targeted at the active percentage of the population, which are the youth.
Yeah.
Do you think, or in your own view, what do you think this would portend for youth in the country, and how do you think young people should cope with this new development? People who have been doing business with cryptocurrencies now, they would be jobless for now. What do you think they should do moving forward?
Okay, there are a lot of ways to earn in the crypto market. P2P is one. I think that's what he does. You can actually trade crypto.
By P2P, you mean?
Like peer-to-peer transaction.
Okay.
Like you send.
He's a middleman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right.
And the fact is, the government banning crypto in Nigeria doesn't stop people from buying crypto assets, and doesn't stop people from selling crypto assets, because even before the ban came in on board, as in people have been trading Bitcoin since 2010. They've been buying and selling Bitcoin since 2010, way back. And the bank have actually not started doing it, probably helping the transaction since then. So it doesn't stop it from being transacted. It's only that it's only going to take the government away from. It's going to they're not going to have probably insights about what is going on in the space, and which is actually very, very, I would say, is a very wrong move for the government to take, because if you're going to control something, you should understand and be
the ban will make it more secretive.
Definitely, it makes people will not even want to go through the bank, and transactions going on in the bank might actually be crypto related, but the bank will not know.
Okay, Mr. Boyega, on a final note now, before we take the last call on the show, what do you think should have been government's move while it was making plans to regulate the cryptocurrency transactions in Nigeria?
I think the government should consult the crypto experts. I think we have some crypto experts here in Nigeria that the government can consult, perhaps appoint them, let them talk about how it's going to work, how it's going to be beneficial to the country's economy, rather than looking at the negative side. Because there is no way the cryptocurrency can stop.
There's no way.
There is no way the cryptocurrency can stop, even
globally.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people will actually still transact on cryptocurrency. It might not be through the banks here in Nigeria anymore. Other means. People
which are, they can use other banks in other countries too.
I just said other means, which I'm not going to say.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to understand.
Yeah, other means.
All right. Whatever it is that this cryptocurrency entails, I am alien to it. I'm just trying to make sense of it, actually. But I'm sure we've been able to educate you in a way or the other. And remember that CBN has banned all cryptocurrency transactions, and that still stands until further notice. Thank you very much for joining us on today's edition of the program. My sincere thanks to Mr. Moses Ijalano, the financial expert that spoke to the topic today. I also want to thank my studio guest, Mr. Adewega Salami. Thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome.
He's a cryptocurrency exchanger Before you go, maybe you'll drop some bitcoins on the table. Thank you very much in advance. I also want to thank Engineer Oluwasegun, a blockchain enthusiast. Thank you for coming as well.
Thank you for having me.
My name is Olabisi Olaniyi Oluwasegun. Next week, Thursday, we'll be back with another interesting topic. Until then, stay blessed.